YouTube? It's your boy Paul, and you're watching Chopping It Up with Paul. Sorry it's been so long since I've been on. I know it's been at least 2 weeks, and for that I apologize. I thank the tried and true fans that have followed me from day one, and I'm going to make more efforts to record weekly episodes. You may have to deal with conversational videos for a while as funds are kind of tight, but your boy's doing alright. I'm still living a positive life even with all the downfalls going on around me. I just want to give a shout out to all those who lost friends and family members over the last week to violence. My heart goes out to you guys. I've seen a lot of posts online stating that this and that has happened with police officers in relations to black people, man, and it's unnecessary, guys. Yes, I'm talking to you police officers. That is unnecessary. Unless they are posing a physical threat, you do not have the right to put hands on them. I mean, point blank, end of line. Now, if they pose a threat, then you cuff them and set them on the curb. You read them the Miranda rights so they don't talk themselves into a charge. Come on, man. You know the law as well as I do. That being said, let's just remember, everybody, all lives matter. That includes black lives. And any other racial lives matter. It shouldn't matter your skin color, the amount of money you make. And this is how to take a positive out of these circumstances, is to sit here and think that a Latino family at that very moment is suffering from a police on Latino violence that doesn't get spoken about. I mean, we have to understand, this is a very heated issue, very heated topic, but we also have to realize that it's not an isolated event. This has been going on for decades. The police have all the power, and the people are subject to the police. There always has to be that dynamic. The police doing something to a suspect acting out of sorts. And I see the angst of everybody's argument is, why does this police officer get away with murdering a man in broad day or broad night? I am not 100% sure of when the most recent event of violence has happened, but now they're starting to wonder, okay, why is there a citizen on police violence going on? Well, you kind of brought it on yourselves, guys, but this is how we pull through it. We realize that as people, there's no way of making any kind of justice we get from the police being prosecuted is not going to bring those people back into our lives. It's not going to. We have to live with the memory of those people. Recently, as recent as this year, I lost my mother. It's been a hard struggle for a year to stay positive because that's a lot. And then being hit with all the COVID stuff, I was like, what else? You know, and then opportunities opened the door to a better standard of living for me. Yeah, I don't make a lot more money, but I feel more rewarded at the end of the day when I leave the job. And that means more, you know, than focusing on the negative going on in the world. The world's always had negativity going on, but there were always positive people doing positive things to change that negative living. It's been going on forever, people. The positivity movement's been around. It's just been hidden by recent events. You know, it's been hidden and not focused on as much. With that being said, just let's be kind to one another, band together and unite as people. Not just blacks and blacks with blacks, whites with whites, Mexicans with Mexicans, or Latinos. I apologize for the insensitivity because there are other groups other than Mexicans in the Latino standard. If I could speak right now, but my mind's going 100 miles an hour ahead of my mouth. But that's a dynamic that's been going on forever, people. But at the same time, we have to band together and unite in one accord, the people. Because it says in the preamble to the Constitution, we the people, and in order to create a more perfect union, have these unalienable rights. And we know the rest, to liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness. How can we get justice when there's violence going on, you say? Take justice where it comes. When somebody is held responsible for their actions, I'm not saying take glory, but take justice out of it. Because just because your case doesn't get that officer fired or suspended or charged, doesn't mean that you can't take justice out of another officer's suspension, termination, and or even charges. I'm just saying here, people, there's a positive for every negative. And yes, the police department is a source of negativity. Anybody that knows them knows this. But at the same time, we have to also realize that there are lives being taken by this COVID on all sides. See, we need to focus more on solving that problem than a problem that's been going on and it's going to continue to go on. Just realize that all lives matter. When you go out in public, mask up. Wash your hands. Stay 6 feet away from others. These are all common sense things, like I said in my very first post. These are things we should be doing on a daily anyway, like washing our hands obsessively. Yes, wash your hands after you go to the bathroom, after eating. Wash your hands to prevent the spread of anything. Because we don't need another virus outbreak from foodborne to add to the COVID numbers, you know? So, let's just be wise. Let's think about things before we do them. You know? Think about your actions before you do them, because there are real world consequences behind your actions, both positive and negative. Maybe you make a movement that moves things in a positive direction using positive motivating forces and living out positivity. That's fine and good. Yes, I'm recording this at home. But you have to realize it's a law of physics. For every action, there's an equal or greater reaction. If we the people bond together in a positive manner, we can move the world. But we have to gather with positive motivations behind it. We can't just come together and half of us protest and the other half riot. No, we have to show a united front for a united purpose, you know, to equal or balance the power back out. Because all lives matter and all lives are being lost on a daily. Due to civilian on civilian violence or police on civilian violence. Or civilian on police violence. That is stupid. That is negative. That is what you need to be avoiding. Is actions like that. Right there. Yes, it sent a clear and simple message. But that man is also facing real charges that are going to give him upwards of the double digits. You know, if not life. Like I said, we have to think about our actions before we do them. Because yes, realize all lives matter on all sides. We are not the color of our skin. You know, we are not. We are Martin Luther King said it best. He said, "Judge not a man on the color of his skin, but on the content of his character." The content of his character, folks. That's what I'm talking about. There's negative people in every group, in every world system. There are those negative people we should avoid. We, the positive, should seek out positive people that's interested in doing positive things. That's where we need to be at, people. Not sitting here portraying random acts of violence. Not out here rioting and looting and pillaging. That's not solving anything either. We need to come together as a voice of the people. We need to make petition to the government to balance shit out. I mean, I'm being real about it. We need to come together to talk to the government and try to redress the grievances we may have. Because we have that constitutional legal right given to us by our founding fathers. It's just an unused right. But we have the right to petition the government for a redress of any actions and any grievances that we, the people, may have coming to them in a peaceful accord. That doesn't mean, hey, let's go in there and act a fool. No. You're not even going to be taken serious. In fact, there are going to be those who say, what is this? What? No. I'm not even taking this serious. We have to unite and think this thing out and peaceably and positively write a positive petition, a positive movement to the government to redress the negative actions that have been going on lately. With not only a pandemic on us right now, but now violence on both sides of the legal line. This is getting crazy. It's getting out of hand, and we've got to rein it in, or we will be sent into a state called martial law, where police are a military force and are authorized to use military force if necessary. It's time to put the guns down and get the pens out. It's an election time. Right now, more than ever, we need to be banding together, petitioning the government for redresses of our grievances, guys. Instead of worrying about being out here throwing up riots, destroying property, shooting officers in their squad car. We could be moving bills to balance things out again. You know, the police do a Police Accountability Act, where there is a certain code of conduct expected out of our police officers, you know? That's real important. Just a quick hygiene reminder, guys. Keeping your facial hair to a limit and keeping your hair neat and orderly and kempt will help you to prevent the spread of COVID. Your facial hair in specific, if it's more than a quarter inch, it's going to push your mask out, breaking the seal of the mask and nullifying the use of the mask. And wash your hands at least in 1 hour 4 times. Especially if you work in a kitchen, it should be once every 10-15 minutes at the max. I wash mine every 5 to 10. You know, because I handle a lot of food and I don't like to cut with rubber gloves on. But I'm always cutting food that's going to be cooked, so I'm killing any potential bacteria that could be on me. With heat, with hella high heat, I cook it completely done to where everything is done. Anyway, irrelevant of the fact, wash your hands frequently. Make it a habit. You know? And then after all this is gone, continue the habit. You know? Of washing your hands regularly. And see how much healthier you feel. Look, appear, become. But look, that's all I've got to say on those matters. A positive resolution to both of them means come together as one accord, and stop segregating into different groups. We have to come together to amass or change anything, guys. And girls. Yes, ladies, I'm talking to you too. You too have the power after the women's rights movement to do the same thing as your male counterparts do. So hey, be a moving force for justice against these things. You know, be a motivator to solve the coronavirus. You know? We the people have the power to move mountains. We just choose not to out of fear of reprisal, but as long as we do it rationally, reasonably, and we don't show up there in a ratty-ass t-shirt and a ratty-ass pair of jeans to drop this bill off, somebody actually takes thought and puts nice clothes on and goes in and presents it in, even if it's just a button-up shirt and some nice-looking jeans. And walking with dignity and pride, dropping that bill into the box for consideration. You know? Then and only then can we move the mountain of injustice that's upon us right now. But doing it in negative manners as I've seen in the news, that's not getting it done right. That's just causing more problems and causing it to go on a little bit further. We do not want this to continue. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of seeing violence on both sides of the law. So it's time, people, that we come together as a people and deal with this in a rational, calm, and positive manner to get it done. And if necessary to make sure it happens, we protest. Not riot, protest. But we have to have it clear what we are marching for. You know, make it clear your purpose for the march. Make it clear that you have examples, you know, of what you are talking about. Which, there's no lack of regulation proof than right now. But that being said, it's time for us as a people to unite. But that's all I'm going to say. And as always, at the end of my every episode, I know it's been a minute since I've posted anything, and I apologize for that, but please share the content, because I've really been thinking on content for the show, what I want to do. On October 14th and 15th, I'm going to do a back-to-back post. It'll probably be like the 16th or 17th before it gets uploaded. Just being honest about it, because, like I said, my schedule is going to be kind of crazy, but they're going to be adventure videos with my mother and father-in-law. Right now, me and my wife are doing research on where we're going to take them, what we're going to do with them while they're here, because we're just really going to enjoy the 2 days that we've selected to take off and spend with them. We're going to make it the most. And it's going to be a massive episode. It's going to be a two, maybe even 3-part episode, depending on how much content I get off. I might be able to make 4 or 5 videos out of it. I'm just being honest, because there's a lot of stuff we've got to compact into 2 days. 4 to 6 episodes is not unreasonable, considering all the places we're going. And I'm going to shoot video periodically through there. And any video clips I take off of YouTube, I will include in on my posts. So, of the place that I'm going. If I don't post it in there, just know in editing I'm going to add it in. So that you guys are getting the experience and getting to do it with us while we're having fun with family. We usually get to see them 2 days out of the year. This is the 2 days that we're going to be hanging out with them, doing stuff with them, coming to see us in our area. So, we're planning action-packed adventure, so tune in. That's October 14th and 15th. Look for potential upload around the 16th, 17th. And I'm just going to say, life is positive if you make it that way. The energy you put out is the energy you're going to receive back. If you're running around and hanging around with negative people doing negative things are going to come. But if you're out here doing positive things with your life, and you're making positive steps in your life, and you're living the positive lifestyle of, I don't care what they're doing, I'm doing this over here in the right way. Making steps towards a more positive life. That's what has to be done, people. Stop focusing on petty shit. Start focusing on the stuff that's going to change your life for the better. Think of positive ways to deal with the real world experiences. I give you my viewpoints. And living a positive life, you may see things in even more of a positive light than I do. And if you do, please feel free to follow my links. My link to YouTube. Follow my link to YouTube. And just holla at me. Pop me a link in there, if you have a petition going on that could gather congressional attention about the matter, please pop it into the comment section, and I will consider it. I will look it over and consider it. And I may sign it and advocate it on an upcoming YouTube episode. Or use it as an opener for one of my YouTube episodes, You never know the impact you have on society until which time you actually act on it. That is my own. No other person can take credit for that one. But I'm telling you, people, that's the way to stay positive, because living positive lives impact society around you because your positivity is visible. And it will draw other positive people in. So, just follow my links, watch previous episodes. And then if you like the content, subscribe. Because I'm going to be putting pretty noteworthy content on this page. I mean, I already gave you guys my favorite spaghetti recipe. My favorite salad recipe. You know, things that I do that are the difference on my dish. You know, I gave you guys that epic content. If you like the content on this page, share it. You know, I'm not asking you to leave a like. I'm going to ask you to leave a like and a comment if you like the show. If you like this topic, give it a like and a comment, but also subscribe so you can follow it to see other episodes that I've done previous to this. My very first episode, I was very shaky because it was my first time ever doing it. And over time, I've become more comfortable with doing it. It's like letting you guys in on my life. You know, my real life. Living. I can't let you in on my work thing. I had to sign a confidentiality thing that I would not video or post any video on premises or of company property. So, or release anything to the social media about the company, its name, or its origins, or its dealings. So, I can't tell you exact details of things that I do. I just can't. I have a confidentiality agreement I signed with them. But the whole rest of my life, I leave it out there for you guys as a whatever purpose you want to take it for. If you've got a positive way of dealing with things on a protesting level, I'm interested in hearing it. I will support and advocate your movement, your cause. Just like I'm advocating the Black Lives Matter movement. Yes, I am advocating that because it's a step in realizing that all lives matter. Not just black, not just white, but all lives. But as always, if you like the content, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment and just let me know, hey, my name is blah 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 and I'm interested in what you got to say. And I will continue to send zingers on the line. Just follow my content and look at it with a rational mindset. You know, follow your conscience where it leads. Because that still small voice that you hear that says don't do that is usually your rational mind trying to scream out to you, hey, stop. You know, and you're still running towards the wall. You know, listen to that still small voice. It's part of positive living is listening to that still small voice when it's talking, because it's telling you a positive way to prevent a negative situation from happening. So listen to it, okay? That's it. That's all I've got for you. And share my content with your friends. If you like this, share it. Say, hey, listen to this guy. He's got ideas and he's got thoughts and they're rational. And they're positive. Because I'm trying to prolong the positive movement. The positivity movement. And I follow several movements, but I'm not going to discuss that because these movements are nobody's business. They're just personal growth movements. Movements I follow to experiment with life. try to find more positive ways to deal with life. I follow a couple of meditational movements that encourages meditation up to 2 to 3 times a day to cleanse one's aura and their chakra and cleanse the path to the third eye. Which, if you follow my series, you know I discussed that with my little brother Richard, and it was a very interesting conversation. You need to go and watch it if you haven't. If you're new to the page, go back and check out previous episodes because I've had some hilarious crack you up interviews on pressing matters, and I've had some stern serious, this is serious, take it serious, and some that are just theoretical discussions and interviews. But all of them were in an effort to encourage personal search and development of peace, prosperity. You know, a way to live life on a better keel. You know, not worrying about, oh God, what am I going to do? What am I doing today? You should have a solid plan. You know, you should have a place to gain positive money so you're not worried as much about getting it negatively. You know, be out there looking for career paths that you can do. You know. These days, it's like Robert Kiyosaki says, this generation has it great. At their age, if I had this back when I was their age, I could have took over the economic and financial districts by storm. You have the access to the greatest knowledge sources in history, and nobody takes advantage of it. That's the sad reality. I also follow the gaining positive money movement. Any rate, these are movements that I don't incorporate their business into my show because a lot of it's out there, some of it's out there, some of it's not, some of it is sound. I try to differentiate between, but sometimes it makes more sense to discuss what I find. But as always, be safe, be profitable, be productive, and let's all be peaceful. Love y'all. Peace.